Welcome back. This video is the problems from the test review. We are looking at number 13, where we are simply just simplifying any expression that has an e in it. Now, in this one, for number 13, I really just treated the e like an x. I flipped the e to the top and then just figured out how many e's I have. Okay, so in other words, the answer for number 13 should be e to the 7th. All right. For number 14, we have negative e squared times e to the negative 1. I'm going to flip the e to the negative 1 to the bottom of the fraction. That negative is really just a negative 1. And so if I look at how many e's I've got, I really only have 1. 2 on top, 1 on the bottom gives me just 1. So the answer is negative e. All right, so for number 15, I have 5 times e to the negative 3x times 3 e to the negative 6x. Notice this is all multiplication. I can just take the 5 times 3, make it 15e to the negative 9x. Remember that you add in that case. And I'm going to flip the e to the 9x to the bottom of the fraction because that's a negative exponent. And my answer is 15 over e to the 9x. Okay, so now we're switching over to expanding the expression. So they have asked us to expand, which means I need to write a natural log for each of the bases, the 5, the x, and the 2. And then I need to decide if this is multiplication, then I'm going to change multiplication to an addition. And this division is basically a subtraction. Okay, so that one went kind of fast. Let's do number 17, and then you can rewind and go back to that one. Okay, let's do number 17. So that one is log base 8 of 3xy. Okay, so I've got log 8 of 3, log 8 of x, and a log 8 of y. That's all multiplication in there, so it simply just changes to an addition. Okay. All right, number 18. So again, I'm going to change any multiplication to addition. I'm going to change division, which is a fraction, to subtraction. So I'm going to go log 8 and log y. Notice that there's no base here because it's really just base 10, and I don't have to write that. Okay. Remember the 4 goes in the front because that is an exponent. Okay, so it's very important to remember that when you're expanding, you need to write several logs for your bases, but when you're condensing, like in number 19, you're going to write only one log. So in this case, this is going to be log 7 divided by b. And I'm just working backwards, okay? So if it's a subtraction, I'm going to make it a division. And if it's addition, I'm going to change it to a multiplication. So in this case, I have the problem is 3 log base 7 of 4 plus log base 7 of 6. I'm going to only write one log in order to condense. So I'm going to go 4 times the 6. But remember that this 3 is an exponent, and so I need to write it back in the exponent spot for the 4. Okay, remember PEMDAS. 4 to the 3rd is 64, and then you multiply by 6. That's very important because people will actually forget about that. Okay, your answer should be log base 7 of 384, which you could actually go in and figure out what that number would be. Okay, so we've got number 21 is natural log of 12 minus 2 times the natural log of x. And we're going to make that subtraction into a division. And the 2 becomes an exponent, so we're going to put that in the exponent for the x, and there's my answer. Okay, so now we've moved on to deciding whether 22 is exponential growth or decay. Okay, and I'm actually going to write all of these out, 22, 23, and 24, because it's nice to be able to look at all the different types of problems. and decide which one is growth and which one is decay. So at this point, I have y equals negative 2 to the x minus 1. And I have, okay, so basically for 22, I've got, there was a plus here and a base that is greater than 1. So this ended up being a growth, okay? I'm always going to look at what this exponent looks like and what this base looks like. I don't care about the number in front. So again, like number 23, I don't care about the number in front, but the negative 2 I know is going to flip this over, which 1 over e squared is definitely going to be less than 1. So in this case, number 23 has to be a decay. Okay, last problem of this video is the x is a positive and the 2 is greater than 1. Therefore, this equation is going to be a growth equation. Okay? All right, that's it for these problems in the test review. If you have any questions about condensing and expanding, please let me know. All right, thank you for watching.